my friends. Well, today we're going to do a living one day in cottagecore. So let me first tell you about cottagecore. Cottagecore is an internet fashion aesthetic promulgated by teenagers and young adults celebrating an idealized rural life. It values traditional skills and crafts such as foraging, baking, and poetry, and is related to similar nostalgic aesthetic movements such as farmcore, goblincore, and fairycore. This lifestyle can be adopted by virtually anyone. The cottagecore community is highly diverse. So let's talk about the aesthetic and lifestyle elements of cottagecore. The ideas of cottagecore can help to satisfy for its proponents a desire for an aspirational form of nostalgia, as well as an escape from many forms of stress and trauma. It emphasizes simplicity and the soft peacefulness of the pastoral life as an escape from the dangers of the modern world. Fashion. Cottagecore clothing often includes lengthy and layered dresses, floral patterns, puff sleeves, ruffles, and fairy-inspired dresses. Activities. Food and gardening. Growing one's own food in one's own garden and baking one's own bread all reflects the philosophy of self-sufficiency of cottagecore. Living in the countryside is not necessary for this lifestyle, but it's recommended. Cottagecore gardening is intended to be environmentally friendly. For example, the cultivation of a variety of plants help attract insects, including bees, and as such promote biodiversity in the environment. Adopters of cottagecore typically purchase second-hand stuff or vintage furniture. They like to live slowly and spend more time for self-care. Those to adhere to this way of living avoid the use of electronic gadgets. In my opinion, this is a very interesting aesthetic because it romanticizes living in a more simple way, and there's a lot of fun activities you can do, and it's nice to be more in contact with nature. Well, for breakfast we are going to have a fruit salad. I thought that was a nice breakfast because it's summertime and you may fancy some fruit. So we have here a combination of berries. We have strawberries, blackberries, and blueberries, and you can chop it overnight and have a nice breakfast in the morning, and also that helps the flavor to enhance. I'm gonna pair my fruit salad with some cottage cheese. You can eat it alone, but I prefer this because with some protein, I feel fuller for a longer time. And also I wanted to do a different recipe because in cottagecore, I have seen a lot of recipes use a lot of carbs like bread or a lot of baking products. So we are going to have some more balanced recipes. So here is the final result. I think it looks very pretty. It looks like a flower. And we have the berries, the cottage cheese, and I added some mixed nuts. So I think this is a very nice balanced meal. As if you like, you can eat it as a breakfast or just as a snack. We have some fat in the nuts, some fiber in the berries, and some protein in the cottage cheese. And I'm not a nutritionist, but as a chef, I think this is very nice. As you can see, I'm gonna pair my breakfast with just a black coffee. I selected this mug because I like this white decoration. I believe if you have a nice white porcelain dishes or something like that would be very nice because this elevates all the look. In the cottagecore movement, you can see a lot of dresses with flowers, but today I choose something different. I'm gonna wear a white shirt, as you can see, with some brown pants. I think it looks very good. And for the accessories, I'm gonna use just a watch, a ring. This is a Swarovski ring, and some pearl earrings. So this is a nice outfit for cottagecore if you want to go out and ride a bike or walk in the forest or something like that. It's very fresh for summer and it looks very put together. For the makeup, I found a soft yellow cottagecore makeup video, so we are going to follow it. I have not seen it yet, so we are going to see it together. I'm gonna link it in the description, so let's gonna start. Well, before the makeup, I'm gonna hold my hair in a ponytail. This is going to be the hairstyle for today. I feel it looks very elegant and it's not very difficult, so I guess it's a nice hairstyle for the cottagecore if you want to, as I say, go and ride a bike or go into the forest. You look put together and it's easy just like that. Well, first I'm going to use sunscreen. You need to use sunscreen all the seasons, now more because we are in the sun more time, but I always use it in every season, even in winter. It's good for your skin. Well, she starts with the eyes, but I'm going to start with primer. This is the one I have been using. It's from Smashbox and it's good. It makes your makeup last longer and feels nice, so I recommend it. Then I'm going to use my color palette. It's this one, as you've seen in my other videos. And she put some yellow color in here. I'm gonna make a zoom. So I'm going to use this one, the golden one. And I'm going to put it here and here, like all over the eyes. Now we are going to put a little yellow in the downer part of the eye, in here, as you can see, just a little bit. Finger. Then she uses a little bit of orange, like coral tone. I don't have it, but I'm gonna use this pink a little bit just in here in the center of the eye. This is how it looks like. It's a little pink touch, so I think it looks nice. Then she uses two different colors, one yellow one for this part of the eyes, and a little bit of moon something like silver in here, but we are going to use for the boat this shimmery silver one. It's like silver but a little golden. As you can see, this palette it's from the brighter side. It's more warmer colors, so we are going to use it for this part and the second step. Then she goes into the blush, but I'm going to use some other stuff first because I think the skin looks better if you use that stuff. So for now I'm going to use foundation and maybe some dust before the blush, but you can use it as you wish. So now for the blush, she used a golden one and a pink one. For the golden one, I'm going to use this. This is a brown shimmer. It's like golden dust. And I'm going to use just a tiny bit in the cheeks. And she uses a little pink in this part, so I'm gonna use the lipstick. I love that hack from the last video, so I'm gonna continue using it because I don't really use a lot of blush, but this video needs it, so I already have the lipstick. I'm gonna blend it a little with my sponge. So far it looks good. I like this makeup because I feel the outfit is a little simpler, so you can use a makeup that it's stronger when you use simple clothes. I feel like it, yeah. That's what I do. She puts a little bit of the shimmery dust, or a little bit of this same one in the nose, so we are going to put a little bit of that. Well, now she kind of skipped these steps, but I'm gonna make it like this because this is usually what I do. I'm gonna do my eyelashes with this one, and I'm gonna put some eyeliner in the upper part to make a cat eye. She kind of don't do that. She make a white cat eye in this part of the eye, but I feel that hurts, so I'm gonna do it my way. You can do it as you wish. So this is the look so far. I believe this looks very nice for a regular makeup. She uses even more highlighter and I think she looks very pretty, but it's more like a fantasy makeup. I believe it's more like fairy core makeup, so I'm not going to use more highlighter, but I'm going to use the same lipstick I use as a blush for the lips. She uses a orange one. That one is pretty too, but for a daily makeup or for just, I don't know, Sundays, Saturdays makeup, yeah, weekend makeup, we can do something a little simpler. Just for the last step, I'm going to use a lip gloss. For the cottagecore, I have this is very old, but this is a cherry lip gloss, and I think it's gonna look good. So this is the final result. I don't know what you think. I think it looks very pretty. It's like a more stronger makeup, as I said, but with the simple clothes, I think it's gonna look very nice. I like it. It's like very summery. Oh, also I put my makeup before putting the clothes because the shirt, as you can see, is white, so I don't want to get it dirty. So it's a nice tip to use a top or something down so you don't get your white clothes dirty. So this is the final look. I think it looks very classy. I paired with some platform heels. I saw in a French TV show about fashion that when you pair a little heels or shoes like that, you look more feminine and put together. So I think this is a very nice outfit. I went out to a local store to buy some ingredients for the food later, but I saw this beautiful pink flower and I couldn't resist, so I got it for the house. I hope this little flower will survive because the winter is so tough here. So now it's summer and everything looks good, but in winter it's tough to have plants. And last winter I had some carrots I cultivated myself, but they all died. So let's hope this little guy survives. Well, for the meal, I'm going to make an onion soup. I found a kind of vintage recipe in Pinterest. So first I'm going to clean the onion and chop it in very thin slices. I'm gonna throw that later. When you have your onion like this, you chop it in half. And then, as you can see, here is a little bit of the heart, so you put it like this and just chop a little tiny bit. So that's the heart. And you do it too in the other part, so the onion is clean and that part don't get in the middle. So now you have your half and you are going to chop thin slices. If you don't want to cry when you chop an onion, you need to breathe with your mouth and not with your nose. That usually helps. The recipe asks for 2 cups of onion, so I guess 1 whole onion is enough. For this recipe, I'm going to use a white onion. I think this is the best one for this recipe. You can also use yellow onion, but I guess this is the best one in flavor for the recipe. The recipe asks for boeuf bourguignon, I think I remember. That's a kind of broth of beef that you put in the stove for almost like 6 hours. But don't worry, you can also use a broth. So the recipe asks for 4 cups, so 1 liter is enough. Now I put a pot in kind of low medium heat. That's that. And I'm gonna put the butter. It's gonna melt, and when it melts I'm gonna add the onion and a teaspoon of brown sugar. The recipe asks for just sugar, but I believe the brown sugar would give it a better flavor. The sugar, it's not to make it sweet, it's to make the onion less strong. I'm gonna let it stir for about 15 minutes until the onions are cooked. You don't want them very brown, but you want them soft. This is how the onions are looking like. I forgot to add the mustard, but I'm going to add it now. Just a little bit. And I'm going to add the beef broth. I added the whole liter and I'm going to let it be for about 15 minutes at kind of low-medium temperature. For that, I'm just going to put the lid and let it be. I'll be back in 15 minutes. So this is how the soup looks like now. It smells really good. I'm gonna serve it in a dish and I come back with you. Oh, you know what? Well, I tasted and this needs a little bit of salt, so I'm gonna pour some and then I'm going to stir and serve it. This is how it looks like now. It looks pretty nice. And I'm going to add just a little bit of parmesan cheese. Yeah, like that. For my chef toys, I have this torch. I'm gonna see if I can melt the cheese. The recipe says you need the bread and you need to melt the cheese over the bread, but I don't have bread right now, so I'm gonna try to do it like this. You don't really need this tool, this is just for a little extra. If not, you can eat it like that or with the bread. Well, this is the result. It got melted just a little bit, but it looks pretty nice. I'm gonna pair my meal with a cup of white wine. This is the one I'm gonna use now. This is from another video I'm filming. This is a German wine. This is pretty nice. So I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna see you later. You know, the soup is very nice, it's very tasty, but I feel it's too much onion in my perception, so if you made it, I recommend you just do half an onion, because I feel one is too much. I'm gonna use this for cooking in another dishes, but yeah, for a soup I feel it's a little overwhelming. A friend of my husband cultivated his own cucumbers. I think that's super amazing and he gave us some. So for a snack I'm going to have one cucumber with just lemon and a little bit of tajin. Tajin, it's a kind of Mexican sauce. Well, it's a seasoning. So yeah, that's the lunch. Well, for the dinner I'm going to make crepes. We are going to need 1 cup of flour. I'm going to use this buttermilk flour. This is for hot cakes, but any flour can be used for the crepes. I'm going to use half a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, melted butter, and 2 eggs. And I'm going to mix everything in a bowl. This is the batter. I feel it's a little, I don't know, not so soft enough, so I'm going to add 1/4 cup extra of milk to make it easier. I'm going to use a small pan. I'm gonna pour some oil in it. And next we are going to put the butter and we are going to do this movement so the crepes extend on the pan. You can use a bigger pan, but it's easier if you have one small. I'm going to use a spoon to make it easier. You need to do this movement until the crepe looks like this. And we are going to let it cook for about, I don't know, 3 minutes at low temperature. When it looks cooked, we are going to separate it from the pan. So this is how our first crab looks like. I'm going to do the other ones and I come back. With this recipe I obtained 5 crabs, so I'm going to take one. You can do it in 2 different ways. You can just put it like this, or you can do another one and have a little triangle like this. You can do it as you wish. I'm going to put 2 triangles in my plate and I'm going to cover it with some toppings. So this is the final result. I use a little cottage cheese, half a banana and some mixed nuts, and I'm going to pour over a little bit of maple. This is ice wine maple. I have not tasted yet, but I'm going to taste it with the crepes. You can put any toppings you would like in it. Nutella, peanut butter, maybe some more fruits. So let me know what would you like to pair it with it. And that was my day living in cottagecore. I hope you like it. I think this is a very nice movement, more nowadays that we don't go out too much. Even though I had the cell phone like all day long to film, I didn't really saw a lot of television or be at the computer a lot of time. I made more stuff at home and walk around the city, spend time with the plants, so this is a very nice style of living. Oh look, there's some cardinals in there. That's so pretty. Well, yeah, the cottagecore movement is more to be present and spend time in nature and feel joyful about the little things. So if you do any recipes or get inspired by this video and do some stuff like this, please let me know in the comments. And a little disclaimer again, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm a chef, so this is not a diet, this is just some recipes I found really nice to have a good day, a little comfort food to feel good. So yeah, thanks you for watching my video and hope to see you later. I'm gonna leave you here with this red cardinal.